Get the cream, precious metals or the crypto things. Your bars are light like the one that's on a Smith machine. But my Maxwell and I ain't speaking about the pretty.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentaries. This is your host, MagMongoSlade. Today we're going to be talking about the $30,000 appearance fee for Sasha Banks. I'm sorry, Mercedes Varnado. Alright, so why am I talking about this? Well, because it gives me an opportunity to talk about something that I actually do like, which is the free market. So, while everybody is arguing about whether it's worth paying $30,000 to a Mercedes Varnado for, I believe it's C2E2 or something like that, you have to understand it's worth it for whoever is going to pay it. So, if somebody wants to pay $30,000, that means they believe that she is going to generate more than $30,000 in people wanting to come see her. So if that's what they believe, it's their business to believe that or not. Would I pay $30,000 to meet Sasha Banks? No, I would certainly not. But this is a different ball game. These organizations are running with big bucks. They have all kinds of money. If they think that she's worth $30,000, I'm okay with it, you know, and she better get it while she can. I'm all for people hustling. She needs to get it while she can, because her asking price has got to be pretty high right now. Her name has been constantly in the media. If she's leaving WWE, which we don't know yet, we just know she's going to make an appearance, supposedly, apparently. Let's say, for instance, everything is the way the dirt sheets have claimed it and that she's going to leave WWE, or she's already gone, or however that works. Then this is the right time to charge so much money, because one, she's not going to be working, so she needs the money right now. Two, her name is constantly in the media right now. She's always trending on Twitter. Three, she is very popular, at least right now. In 5 years, in 10 years, she could be worth more. It could be a steal getting it right now, because who knows what might happen in 5 to 10 years. Or it could be overpriced, because you never know what's going to happen in 5 to 10 years. So get that money, boo. Do your thing. Why everybody is so upset about, I have no idea. Look, if they didn't think she was worth this kind of money, they wouldn't be paying her this kind of money. Fair. You know, to me, it's fair. So let's go to the peanut gallery, as certain people don't seem to understand basic free market ideas. She threw a number out there. Somebody apparently is going to pick it up. She's not trying to make personal appearances to people's houses. These are conventions. They have money. So yeah, she's going to make appearances at conventions for money. So what? Who cares if they're overpaying? You know, or if you feel like they're overpaying. What's the worst thing that could happen? That they pay her $30,000 and she generates $20,000 in return. Then guess what? The word will spread that she's not worth the money, and she will have to bring it down. Or she may find out that she generates $50,000 to $60,000 in income, and she may turn around and say, well, I wasn't charging enough. Now we got to go up. So let's get into this thing. To the people saying $30,000 is too steep of an asking price to book Mercedes Varnado, aka former Sasha Banks from WWE, most Hollywood celebrities charge over $100,000 for their events. A-list celebrities like Gal Gadot and Jennifer Lopez, over $1 million. Mercedes is very kind. Well, understand here, Gal Gadot was Wonder Woman in a $100 million movie or something to that effect. She wouldn't even get out of bed for the money that Mercedes is asking for. You probably couldn't even get her on the phone for that kind of money. You probably wouldn't even approach her agent with that kind of money. She wouldn't do a dead child's birthday party or a dying child's birthday party for that kind of money. It just would not be worth it. That's charity for somebody like Gal Gadot or somebody like Jennifer Lopez. Do I think that's too much money? Maybe. I'm not pressed about celebrities like that though. So it's really weird. Never understood people up in arms over an asking price for an appearance of Sasha Banks / Mercedes. This is getting on my nerves, this whole Mercedes Varnado shit. We just gonna call her Sasha Banks, all right? has a number in mind that people are willing to pay, then so be it. Common sense. Pro wrestling life can be fleeting. Have to make the money while you're hot. Absolutely. This is somebody who's smart. A Sasha Banks appearance is worth $30K. I don't understand why people have a problem with this. The problem is some people don't see that it's worth $30,000 just for her to appear. To do what exactly is, shake hands, kiss babies and sign autographs. Pretty much what it's going to be. And to people who are fans of hers, it's going to be worth the money. Well, look, the people who are going to sign up, she's going to sign pictures and everything. To those people, they're going to get a different price. But that price is going to be, of course, them trying to get that $30,000 back. So who knows what it's going to cost to actually get a picture with Sasha Banks. That's the thing that that's the thing I'm going to pay attention to. That's going to be the thing that the fans are going to pay. Right? So if you come to a convention and it's, $200 to meet Sasha Banks, that might be a little stiff. It might be a little stiff, but we'll see. Girl, I hope Mercedes Varnado becomes one of the biggest stars on the planet to piss everyone off. God, the crew was doing their thing. Oh yeah, they you think that they've been paying attention? Oh, they paying attention. Sasha Banks and Mercedes Varnado are both trending on Twitter. Somebody says, all this talk about Sasha Banks' money reminds me of what William Regal just said years ago and how he got her to cheer up. As long as the check clears, she ain't got no worries about her asking price. So, apparently, William Regal told her, I'm sure she doesn't mind me telling you this, but there are times when this job gets a bit of a grind, and any job does. I don't see her as much as we certainly don't call and text one another, but I saw her a while ago, several years ago, and I heard she wasn't so happy. I said to her, how you doing? She said, all right. I said, how many times have you been world champ? She said, 5. I said, and was the check in the bank on Monday? And she said, that's all that I needed. Thank you very much. Just to see that she's come through all of this, become a star, she has been very fulfilling. Okay. That's very interesting. I mean, that's about putting things in perspective, There's a little bit of perspective for money matters. Go get the cash. Oh, this one was bold. Sammy Guevara checking his wallet after learning that a Sasha Banks appearance is only $30,000. It's amazing how people see this, though. Some people see that it's not a lot, as if they got $30K just laying around, which most people don't. And other people see that this is completely and totally outrageous. Like, how could you possibly give her $30,000? Like, it's C2E2. Like these comic cons and these comic conventions, they have money. And people are going, they have tons of sponsors and everything. Like, you have to take into account, like, this is time out of old girl's life, She could be doing something else instead of hanging around a bunch of sweaty, smelly weirdos for, 6 hours maybe? 7 hours? However long some of these conventions are. I don't know how long she's going to be there. But I guarantee you she's got better things to do. They ain't doing nothing but going out and walking her dog. Get that money. Let's see. I've said it before, wrestling does not deserve Sasha Banks. Quit being a weirdo. The question isn't if Sasha Banks is worth $30,000 in appearance. The only question is how many conventions are willing to pay her price line and line her pockets. Know your worth, get paid. At least for now, absolutely. Get it. It doesn't make any sense for you not to get it right now. Don't be dumb. She gonna be there for 2 days too? That's $15,000 a day. Or is it $30,000 a day? Which one is it? I don't know. I'm guessing it's $30,000 a day. I would guess. That would be $60,000 if she's going to be there for 2 days. That's a guap. Go ahead, go for it. You ain't doing nothing, taking no bumps. Shit. Go ahead and snatch that. What's the big deal? Oh, C2E2 was getting robbed. I don't give a fuck. The people who are butthurt over Sasha Banks charging $30,000 per appearance are the same people mad over Toni Storm making $20,000 a month on OnlyFans. It seems like the price tag is only a problem when it's a woman who knows her worth. Well, it's not really the same thing, considering Sasha. Look, they both free market principles, right? People want to see Toni Storm in skimpy outfits. Do your thing. People want to see Sasha Banks. Do your thing. It's going to be different though, because Toni Storm is doing adult content. It might not be naked, but it's adult content. She probably don't want kids 14, 15 doing this. You wouldn't bring Sasha Banks there for a bunch of sweaty old people, right? So you're talking about children or young people. So now you have to ask the question, how much is a young person going to be able, or a parent, let's say, going to be able to afford to get their kid a picture with Sasha Banks? All right. That's the one thing I would be concerned with, not so much, Tony Storm being overpaid. I don't really understand the concept of overpaid or underpaid. Those things don't make no sense to me. Right. So it says Sasha Banks' asking price for convention and signings is said to be $30,000. That price is comparable to icons such as Sting, and only people mention more expensive for the likes of Hogan, Goldberg, HBK, and Flair. She knows her worth. Absolutely. The problem is, I'm pretty sure that, in a few years, the cost of booking Sasha Banks may actually go down. Everybody you mentioned here is over the age of 50. So that means that Ric Flair, if Ric Flair is going to charge you 30 grand, Ric Flair's got 40, 50 years of history. Same thing with HBK, Goldberg, Hogan. Not Goldberg, of course, but Hogan or whatever. They've got decades and decades of history. Sasha Banks has probably a decade at most of history. So if she's making as much money as they are at conventions right now, we'll see if she appreciates in value or depreciates in value in the future. If anything, Sting would have probably been worth more money back in 1993 or something like that. But then again, at the same time, maybe not. Because, WCW was never at the level of WWE anyway. So maybe not. But, I'm cool with this, personally. Let's see. Here's just a little reminder of what happened when she did her first signing as Mercedes Renato. Apparently, she's sold out her autograph signing, which she was on a panel with Natalie Portman, Idris Elba, Chris Hemsworth, Hayden Christensen, I have no idea who that guy is, and Rosario Dawson. So that's all three of these people were in Thor. Chris Hemsworth was Thor, Natalie Portman was Jane Foster, and Idris Elba was I forgot. The keeper of the Rainbow Bridge or whatever. What the hell? I forget. This Hayden Christensen guy, I don't think I've ever seen him before, and Rosario Dawson is still hot. I don't know who she is either. But I'm pretty sure hers was probably less expensive than theirs. So take that into account. Plus, wrestling fans they're a very important bunch. They are very dedicated to the product that they believe. Okay, this is about tag team titles. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about that. I don't care about that shit. Those tag team belts were dead. Dead, I say. Here's an interesting one. Sasha Banks' $30,000 booking price is whack as fuck. Old girl should be going higher than that, since people have the audacity to even assume her worth should be lower. These are people who are living in a post-capitalist society. You can't do that, okay? That makes no sense. So if you're not a con organizer or Sasha Banks or her family, I don't get why you care what her asking price is at all. Well, that's a good question. And some people are just interested in this kind of stuff because it is sort of a harbinger of what you'll be paying as a fan to actually sign up to get an autograph. So it is kind of a harbinger, because if it's a lot, then that your part in that whole thing is going to be quite a bit too. Like I said, you might be paying $250, $300 to meet somebody because it cost them 30 grand to get you to show up. That's a lot. The people that don't like Sasha Banks because they don't know why, they think she should be charging $4 for her asking price. Who the hell said that? Now that's just a straw man. It's okay to want Sasha Banks in Impact. Her asking price is Sasha Banks and Impact. Impact ain't got $30,000. They ain't got $30,000 in Impact. If you're one of these moron fans ranting and talking shit at Sasha Banks about that price tag, it's fucking Sasha Banks, the best match performer in WWE history, and was a legit television draw for WWE for years and a first ballot Hall of Famer. Damn right, you're gonna have to pay. Well, go for it. It's a good thing right now. It's a great thing right now. Get it while the getting is good. It may end up going down eventually, or it may go up. We don't know. We'll see. The only people that should be concerned about the asking price of Sasha Banks are those requesting her appearance. That's absolutely true. I support that argument fully. I'm trying to find more people who don't think that she should be making as much money. Those are the people that I'm interested in finding. I haven't seen a lot of them though, but I'm looking. Trust me, I'm looking. Here we go. We found somebody. Why do they think they need that much for a convention? They seem to care more about money than greeting their fans. Motherfucker, it's time out of their life. You don't understand. See, this is another thing that wrestling fans, man, they don't seem to get it. Autograph signings are arduous. Like, have you seen some of those virtual autograph signings? It's almost like somebody is trapped in a cage where they just sit there and just constantly sign autographs and constantly. It's so insane. I've heard that that's sometimes like, that's how they do like mass produced pictures and stuff like that. They'll go in a hotel room and just sign autographs for hours and hours and hours. That shit gets draining, right? And plus you just don't want to be around people. It's time out of your life. There's going to be people who are going to want to shake her hand, people who are going to be crying, trying to hug all on her. It's going to be all kinds of weirdos popping up. It's going to be a bunch of kids, which is going to be nice. I'm pretty sure that's going to be great for her. But come on. Just come on, man. I could think of 100 things she would probably rather do than hang around you people all day. She may love her fans because they pay her bills, but, she don't want to spend all day with you. I'm pretty sure she don't want to sit there all damn day. You don't think about her all damn day. She don't want to sit there all damn day. Let's see. Somebody says, the Wrestling News Observer has a report on the asking price for Undertaker for his upcoming signing and appearance. According to the report, the WWE legend is charging $25,000 per hour for his appearances and booking dates in the United States. 25 grand per hour. God damn. He only gonna be there. He only be there 20 minutes. Okay. Look, Undertaker probably, you set your price high. It's sometimes to discourage people from giving you money because you don't want to do these things and you feel like you don't have to. Undertaker probably is at the position where he probably doesn't have to do this stuff. And because he doesn't have to, it really should be worth his time. $25,000 per hour. That's a grip, bruh. That's a grip. That's San Diego Comic-Con money right there. That's nuts. That's nuts. Somebody said she's testing out the market. If she gets paid multiple times at that rate, then she's gone. But if people balk at her rate, then she'll come right back to WWE. That's partially true. I think that she definitely wants to see what she can make on these conventions, but you never know what she's going to do in the future. I don't think she'll come back to WWE. She's going to want to do something to increase her value. So ultimately, if going back to WWE, she feels will increase her value, then she will do that. If doing more movies and TV shows will increase her value, then she'll do more TV shows and more movies. I mean, it's common sense, I don't see what the problem is or why we're trying to philosophize it. I mean, it is what it is. It says, great for Sasha. I'm not discounting that. But my first thought after this tweet was that I could finally get to watch HBK versus AJ Styles if I ever win the lottery. Why do you think that HBK even has an asking price? Or is that just for non-wrestling roles? It's non-wrestling. Trust me. I'm pretty sure his asking price for actual wrestling is probably going to be quite a bit more than that. All right. I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite a bit more. All right. And no, Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles are not going to wrestle in your backyard for money. That's stupid. Don't think that. Don't get the wrong idea. It still has to be some type of a convention or something that has actual value to it, where people are going to be. You know, these aren't people. They're not going to do apartment wrestling just because you have money. I doubt it anyway. Somebody says she's about to make so much money without having to put her body on the line for the rest of the year. Then at the beginning of 2023, wherever she decides to go, she'll be recharged, ready to make the bag. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe, hey, who knows? Vince may actually come back with more money. That was the very next comment too. That, you know, if she continues to make 30 grand and she's living well, Vince may actually show back up and say, you know what? We'll give you we'll add a couple of more, a little bit more cheddar on that burger. How about that? But we'll see. Somebody says she should be facing Liv right now for the SmackDown Women's Championship. WWE didn't realize what they had in her. I mean, for a while they did, but this is someone that should be in the world title picture all the time. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. These people are insane. Beyond the wrestling world, she's a bigger star than any guy y'all are mentioning. So yeah, $30,000 seems all right. She knows her worth. Try Roman. That's all I'm going to tell you. Somebody called Roman Reigns and said, we got $30,000 over here. You have to come sit for 6 hours though. He'd probably be like, what? 6 hours away from my kids to fly halfway across the country or whatever? And hell no. Hell no. It's a lot to you and me. We're average Joes. But for these guys, I mean, it is just an autograph signing, but it's a lot of time. Those things can be very stressful, very arduous. I remember you could just go to a convention. I remember when I went to African World Festival, which is actually going on right now in Detroit. And Thelma from Good Times was sitting there. She was in her 60s about this point in time. And you could tell she was tired. She had been there for like 4 or 5 hours. So many people just being old and weird, like how much they loved Thelma and how, you know, beautiful she was. She probably heard that stuff literally all day, taking pictures, talking about the old times. You know, people thinking that she know JJ and all of them personally, that she might still talk to them, all kinds of shit. That shit can be very stressful. That's why I'm saying go ahead and do your thing. Let's move on to the next one. The next one says, people don't even realize that a small part in Star Wars goes a long ways at conventions. When you have people wanting your autographs from two different fan bases, it's a big deal. This is true. You know, she is, you know, a draw for 2 different fan bases. She's a draw for the wrestling audience and the Star Wars audience. 2 audiences that are very rabid and are very attached to the products that they follow. So yeah, at that point, well, I don't know what the size of her role was in The Mandalorian. I don't know. I don't do Star Wars. Like, some stuff is too nerdy even for me. Like, I'm a manga and anime kind of guy. I comic books and stuff like that. I ain't going over to the Harry Potters and the Dungeons and Dragons and, you know, Star Wars universe kind of, like, those people make that shit into a religion. I'm not that far into the weeds, okay? So I don't know, like, what the size of her role is in the Star Wars universe, but she is in it. So I guess that counts for something. So now they talking about if she's making this much money on conventions, how much is she going to charge AEW? A fucking grip, as she should. You know, that's why I don't think she should be going to entertaining Impact. Impact ain't got no fucking money. Why even entertain Impact? They ain't got no fucking money. All right. I'm getting tired. It's hot. Somebody says, well, this is Wrestle Purists. Promoters attempted to book Mercedes Renato were told that she was only taking non-wrestling related bookings until January 1st, which some people are taking to mean that she is on a 6-month non-compete or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. She might just be on some kind of vacation, another one of her vaunted vacations that won't see her come back for a long time. We'll see. She knows Tony Khan is a billionaire. She's not stupid. Nobody is stupid. She has an agent. She knows Tony Khan is a billionaire. The question is going to be, is Mercedes the draw or is Sasha Banks the draw? All right. To that point, this person says, if you think Sasha Banks is the kind of talent that's easily replaced, you are being proven wrong in real time by WWE's presentation of their women's division in her absence. The women's division actually seems to be doing okay. Like when when people leave, no matter who that person is, like Cena left or Roman leaves, it only ends up opening up more opportunities for more people. So no matter how big of a star you think they are, they're not bigger than the brand. And the brand will always find ways to build up new stars. Just like they built up Sasha Banks, they will just build up somebody else. Whether that person becomes as big and as popular as Sasha Banks, like, who knows? But ultimately, WrestleMania is not going to lose a lot of people because Sasha Banks ain't on it. Whether she's there or not, she can only help. She can't really hurt at that point, right? So, but people are just really kind of going overboard with this whole Sasha Banks makes too much money. I haven't seen too many people complain though. So this might just be the crew doing their thing and saying that people are upset. It's like I don't see anybody upset, and I'm looking. Trust me, I'm looking. Mick Foley is going to be there, and so will Trish Stratus, and so will Lita. So it's going to be a WWE thing there. Okay. At C2E2. So she's going to just join Mick Foley and Trish Stratus and Lita at C2E2. She probably made more money than all three of them. Except maybe Trish Stratus. I don't know. Trish Stratus has been out of the business for a long time, though. So who knows? Let's see. I guess people don't think Star Wars fans have money. Casca Reeves has become extremely popular since The Mandalorian. That's on top of her yes crazy wrestling fan base. But Tweedledum will respond, Charlotte is a bigger name because she wins titles. I don't know how much that is, I don't know. This seems weird to me. All right. People who have an issue with Mercedes Varnado charging less than her worth all have a certain toxic tribal fandom attached to them, and they really need to fucking touch grass. That's not the only reason, though. Some people, again, are looking at, and I haven't seen any reasonable arguments yet. I just keep seeing people celebrate this shit. I haven't seen anybody argue against it yet. I expected a lot of people to be very upset, yelling and screaming about how this is too much money. But most people don't seem to care. I don't think I've seen anybody during this whole time I've been sitting here complain about this. So when Punk had that podcast talking about how WWE treated him, he was slated to make $20,000 for doing a Comic-Con. It makes sense that 10 years later, Sasha Banks, with her career and a Star Wars role to her name, would make 30. Yeah. And plus we live in inflationary times, so, it makes sense. See, Mercedes hasn't done enough to even be considered a D-list star. Y'all are putting too much stock into what the Fed does for people. She had like 2 lines in Mandalorian, and then a stunt double did all the fighting. Come on now. All right, so this is the closest thing I see to a complaint. I think that this person kind of underestimates that if you're on a television show that 1 million people watch per week, even if it's not as many people as you think, that's a lot of fucking people, And then at conventions where there's going to be, I don't know, 40 or 50,000 people there, maybe, there's going to be a certain number of people who are going to know this person who was on television. Here's another one. It says, this is what I like to call legend in my mind because this is Sasha Banks thinks she is. She's not even close or touching none of the legends listed there. I'm guessing Mick Foley, Trish Stratus, etc. This is an ego thing which needs to be shut down. Look, I'm not all about shitting on her ego. She got a big ass ego, which she might be, but that's okay. The reality will humble her more than anybody tweeting. That's kind of my opinion of it. Either reality will humble you or you were right all along. Either way it goes doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want her humbled. I want her to just keep things within reality. If she can continue to make $30,000 for, more time, then hey, go for it. But the idea that she's, whatever. $30,000 and people are defending her? God, you people are some of the fucking sad ass simps. No, the simp is the guy who's going to give her $30,000. I'm not paying $30,000. I don't care what a convention is willing to pay Sasha Banks. I don't give a shit. I go to conventions. I don't even go to meet people or get stuff signed. I go to see the vendors and shit. Those are the people who really get robbed, kind of, The vendors be getting fucked. Somebody says $30K seems low for appearances at conventions when you consider many actors will charge more. Anyone saying her rate is too high needs to remember her name is attached to multiple things outside of WWE. She doesn't exactly need that association. Well, if you think most of the people coming to see her is not going to be wrestling fans, then you out of your mind. That's going to be the vast majority of people who are going to be interested in a Sasha Banks autograph. It's going to be a wrestling fan. The occasional Star Wars fan who has never watched wrestling or doesn't watch wrestling or doesn't know her from wrestling, I don't know what Casca Reeves and how big that character is. I have no idea. But I can tell you that most of the people who are going to be asking for an autograph from her are going to be wrestling fans. You know, that's just, to say that she doesn't need WWE association is a lie. You know, there's people still talking to old referees and they're calling them on the phone trying to get them. You know, there's people who are tangentially related to WWE who are charging podcasters and stuff tons of money to do interviews. Trust me. You know, this is not that big of a deal. It really isn't. Let's see. Sasha Banks, you are a self-entitled brat. You are not worth $30,000, honey. But then again, I wouldn't expect anything less from a woman who faked depression twice. Ooh. Ooh. Ugh. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Where did that come from? $30,000, bro. She's delusional as shit. Oh, well, at least I stumbled across it. I was about to wrap things up, but I think I have stumbled across all the the butt hurt. I think I found it. I think I finally found it. It took me a half hour to finally find it, but I think I found the butt hurt. So this one's a good one to close on because this is actual. It's not a mean one, but it's one that kind of perfectly encapsulates what I said to start this thing. Congratulations to Mercedes Varnado for not being one of those, quote, just happy to be here, quote, I do it for a hot dog and a handshake, quote, I can't wait to just go out there and tear the house down and steal the show people, and realize this is and always be the wrestling business. Absolutely. Make your money, honey. Do your thing. All right. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll talk to you guys later. Don't be weird. She's worth the money if they're willing to pay it.